Ladies and gentlemen, in front of me is something quite special. It's a car that's completely illegal to own in the United States. It costs more than your average house, and it makes 900 horsepower from an engine that was built before the year 2000. But the crazy part is, it's located here at Formula Automotive Museum in Houston, Texas, and the owner has met the legendary Smokey Nagata himself and the godfather of the R34 GTR and GTR overall. And today, we're uncovering the secrets of the Houston supercar scene, and this is the top secret R34 GTR. The story starts back in 1999 when Nissan dropped what would become their final masterpiece, the R34 Skyline GTR. But here's what people don't know. This wasn't just another trim level. The GTR got its own special chassis code, BNR 34. The B stands for the legendary RB26 engine. The N designates all-wheel drive, and the R designates the coupe. Other Skylines, they got boring chassis codes like ER34. Nissan was basically saying this isn't just another Skyline, this is a whole different species. Under the hood of the R34 was the RB26 DETT, a 2.6-liter twin turbocharged inline-six engine that was built by specially trained technicians in Yokohama. Each technician had to go through 6 months of training to be able to work on an RB26 engine, and only one could be worked on per day. The technicians even had rules about what soap could be used to wash their hands because different chemicals could contaminate the engine parts. Fascinating, and that is attention to detail. But that attention to detail was also in the R34's technology, and that's really where the magic was as well. It's why people beloved this car. They love the performance, they love the feeling. Take the Tesla all-wheel drive system as an example. It could make up to 100 adjustments per second. That's faster than you can blink. Absolutely wild, and that's 1990s technology that we're talking about. The GTR had more of a rear wheel bias, even though it was all-wheel drive. But the fascinating part is the moment it detected any slip, it could send up to 50% of the torque and power to the front wheels to manage that slip. It also had all-wheel steering. The rear wheels were capable of steering up to 1 degree in angle in either direction. Again, I have to reiterate, 1990s technology. The GTR R34 was truly ahead of its time. During the time of manufacturing in Japan, there's actually a gentleman's agreement where manufacturers wouldn't produce or advertise a car to have more than 280 horsepower. But everyone was lying. The R34 really makes more like 320 horsepower and actually had a specific ECU tune to show 280 during government testing. It was like automotive tax evasion in the best way possible. But here's the heartbreaking part. We as Americans never got them. While Japanese tuners were building 1,000 horsepower Godzilla monsters, us Americans could really only dream. And due to the 25-year import rule, we had to wait till 1999 to be able to legally import any GTR, matter of fact, the R34 GTR, into the United States legally. And by that time, prices have soared. As an example, take Paul Walker's record-breaking R34 GTR. It sold for $1.3 million. Other examples have had an increase of around 700 to 500%. It's absolutely insane. Prices have gone crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Hello, man.
we're here with Reggie, the gracious owner of this gorgeous, not any R34.
Not any.
You told me, it's the top secret R34, gotta get that right. Like I said, I don't need to say it again, but this is not your regular R34. There's a lot of stuff that's been done to it, but it still looks very, very clean. So Reggie, just take us through kind of what are the major modifications here? What are we doing?
Yeah, so Smokey essentially rebuilt it from the ground up. It's a V-spec by then, right? So that's a cool thing. Not too much different from the base, but there are a few things here and there, including the LSD.
In the V-Spec, right, there's a little bit of a different front bumper.
Yeah, there are a few little things like that. Mechanically, a few things as well. Smokey likes to start with the V-Spec base. So he came from that, 0 to 1 rebuild. Modification-wise, he went a bit crazy. I don't know if you're aware of the Fusion RR, which is one of his historic time attack R34s.
Okay.
But I didn't ask him, I begged him to create a road legal version of the time attack car. So that's what he did, and he went pretty hard on it, right? First thing in your face is the front bumper. That is a top secret bespoke front bumper, lip.
Yeah. That's gorgeous. And the badging at top secret
the badging
right
on there.
The just final touch. And then the red slip, right, as well. It's like gold and red. I don't know, two colors that don't necessarily.
They're not supposed to go, but they do, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And if you have seen Smokey's older cars, he's actually, I would say, morphed or evolved his design elements to where they're less in your face, more subtle, but still very impactful, right?
Yeah.
So it's more about colorations, a bit of subtlety, but also that Smokey way.
Yep.
So top secret front bumper, carbon hood.
Gorgeous.
Dry carbon. Smokey actually started making these a few years ago. This is the first car to ever get it.
Wow.
So this was the demo car, right? So this is the demo car for that.
And if I may call out single knock-a-duck, that's something that we'll get to earlier, but I think you guys can already guess why there's one, not two.
Exactly. The wheels, these are special edition OZ wheels. OZ is a partner with Top Secret.
Okay.
These wheels are actually in Japanese tuner spec, which is 18 by 10.5 inch wide. So these were only built for Smokey, and this is the last set of wheels that they had available for.
Crazy.
The OZ made for those style, right? R35 brakes, again, cut from R35, which honestly are incredible. Like, that's a really heavy car. Dropping those brakes on this, it stops insanely.
I can imagine.
That's
and
a cool
this is
mod.
like, 1,600 kilograms, or is it 1,500, around 1,500 to 1,600? I think it's in that range.
There may be a little added weight on here because of a few of the mods, but about 1,600 kilograms, which is 3,500 pounds.
That's cool. The brakes.
Definitely, the brakes are awesome. So this is interesting. These are not stock.
Yeah.
But on the original car, Smokey had, I forgot what the name was, but he had some mirrors that were popular in the 90s. I think it was Gandar or something like that. I was wondering if he had them. He said no, but what I do have are some mirrors from my old race car. So Smokey's personal race car, he removed them and put them on this, right? So this is the only car in the world with, I know it seems like trivial, but it's cool because it's Smokey, right? Those are his personal mirrors.
Exactly.
We can go to the interior later. Let's go to the back here. Carbon trunk. This is from the Fusion RR, the exact trunk, or not from demo car, but the same style. The first time Smokey has used carbon ring risers and the wing itself. Wow. So all this is full carbon. But let's be real, a lot of it is, aesthetics. And of course, again, the carbon wing.
And I love that this is also a dual function. Like, it's got two different spoilers, essentially. What do you want to call it?
It's designed after the OEM stock. Stock OEM wing, but obviously redone in carbon. Titanium exhaust. A lot of custom work on this. Is no cat on this one. A lot of custom work in the exhaust and the fuel system. On the exterior, that's really, got it here. You got the carbon, the top secret diffuser.
I can see the aerodynamic, and I can see the vortexes coming off that thing already.
So I think that's not something I would have ever thought would look cool, because it's very unique design. But when I saw it, I was like, okay, that's pretty awesome. So,
and it adds a little bit more girth to the
head,
right?
Like it does. It just kind of gives a little more presence. So I really thought that was a cool feature.
And then also, and this is something that these lights are so iconic, but the funny thing is they're so simple, but they're so recognizable, but they're so simple.
So recognizable, absolutely, right? And there are a few cars in the automotive world that you can, relate to that, right? Some of those Vets and some Ferraris, but the Skyline rear lights, you can't miss them, right? They're iconic. R32 to the 34. Actually, all to the 35, actually, same lights.
Yep, exactly. And last thing as well on the back, I saw top secret badging. That's pretty unique right there as well. Just wanted to call that out.
And the big thing, of course, there's some graphics.
Yep.
I actually can't tell you what the Keep Live, I'm actually not sure what that says.
Keep Live Customs?
I think it's customs, but what it is, it's something that Smokey does on some of his cars. I know he has one sticker with like a tennis character. So he does things based on his history and people who are involved in it, which kind of adds a bit of flavor to it.
Yep.
My R32 had a different sticker on it. So these are just cool Smokey elements. Of course, the badging from the OZ Racing, and Bridgestone is also partner with Top Secret. So this has the RA71 RS.
The tires, yeah.
So again, all these elements came in to make it a demo car, and you have that because he is identifying his partnerships with these companies, right? So,
and what I love about it as well is like it fits the car. None of this, like the placement of the graphics makes sense. Even the text of the graphics, right? Like it's all these little nods to, like you said, Smokey's character, his partnerships. But it looks like a demo car, right? Like, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in the best way possible, right?
No, absolutely. The biggest thing, of course, is the color. So it's Top Secret Gold is the color. This is the second primary iteration of Smokey's Top Secret color. The original gold was a little more matte and a different shade, but back in, I think 2020-ish, they started doing this version of the gold. I think it's a triple layer or something like that. But basically what the gold paint means from the standpoint of Smokey is that he builds cars to a certain level. And if he builds a car to a level that, I guess, hits his benchmark of a certain level of performance or maybe his character, he then paints it gold. So it's not something he does much at all. He may come out with one gold car a year. And it may be a different model. And he makes that decision on what he wants to do. It's not like, oh, give me a 32. He's like, maybe, maybe not, right? So this is the first R34 in the new gold paint. And I think he's only done about 4 or 5, maybe even 3 R34s historically that have a Top Secret gold paint.
That's pretty cool. So this is by Smokey standards himself, one of the best R34.
Yeah, this hit his benchmark for, okay, I'm signing off on this.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's really special. And then I don't know, I mean, I'd love to take a look, right? Bring it back to that single knock duct. What's really going on under the hood? I think that's one of the craziest things, like, right? 280 horsepower from stock. And
at least so they say it, right? So they say it.
Yeah, so they say. So
the gentleman's agreement was 280 horsepower, right?
But now 900 horsepower. Right. I mean, that's why we got to take a look. Like, what's going on under here. And then we'll get to the interior as well, guys. Don't worry. There's some cool stuff in there going on as well.
All right. Where's this? Put that in there.
Awesome.
So
again, the attention to detail here as well is absurd. Like you look at all. And what I love about it is this such a thing with modern cars. You don't see any of this.
You don't see anything.
Anything. So to be able to see this and then the attention to detail that was also put into it, it really shows the craftsmanship. But I'll let you go. I'll stop talking.
No. I mean, every time I see it, I'm in awe, to be honest with you. But you're right. New cars don't really do it. Porsches never do it, right? I think only like the front engine Ferraris do exposed. So, yeah, 900 horsepower. And I don't know every single modification, but at a high level, Garrett G35 1050 big single turbo. And HKS Step 3 2.8 kit. So it starts off its life as a 2.6. Smokey put a N1 block in it, which is from the NER. And the kit goes to 2.8 liters. So obviously with more displacement, you get a bit more torque and a bit more power range. Everything else was Smokey design, right? Custom grading intake. Many other things that he did. He actually fabricated the intake, the titanium intake housing himself, as well as the catch can. He went way deeper than I can tell you about it. But at a high level, that's what truly makes the engine what it is right now. And it dynoed between 900 to 950 crank horsepower.
Wow. And I think we'll kind of get to this a little bit, because next I'm going to talk to Reggie here a little bit more about his ownership experience. But I just have to ask a question. Going from 280, were you able to experience a little bit of that difference of, what a stock R34 GTR is like to something that's built with Smokey's attention to detail and his prowess, if you want to call it that.
Not with this car, because he built it, I didn't touch it until he finished it.
Okay.
But I did own a Midnight Purple 2 R34 GTR. It was almost fully stock. It was stock enough.
Yep.
Probably like 340 horsepower, 350 maybe, right? And yeah, very different character. Much more subtle, you know, not as much noise. It feels really good, feels balanced, decent response, normalized high-end power. So it's a really cool experience. In a modern day, it feels a little slower, but you got to think this is a 1999 vehicle, right?
Yeah.
So,
which is crazy.
But even in its stock form, R34 GTR is an incredible car. It really comes live on the track. But this is a completely different experience in every facet. You know, one mod that kicks my butt every time. It has a triple plate clutch. So essentially it has a race clutch, which is almost impossible to use in like stop and go traffic. But I kind of like it. But yeah, that's necessary when it comes to a build like this. So this is essentially a track car that can be used on the road. It is a whole different car from a stock R34.
That is awesome. That is amazing. Well, Reggie, you know, I really appreciate the take around there. But for the next section, you know, if you guys look at Reggie's Instagram, you'll see that, and I called this out in the beginning of the video, you'll see that he's met the legendary Smokey Nagata himself, right? We just went over everything that Smokey's done to this car. It was signed off as one of the, you know, top R34s out there. And then he's also met the Godfather of the GTR. That's also a really cool nod right there, the signature. So really, the next stuff that I want to talk to Reggie about is a little bit about the ownership story. So let's get right into that. All right, guys, so we're now sitting here with Reggie again. We got, funny enough, actually some nice Porsche seats, good, comfortable. We got Smokey up there on the screen. But as I mentioned, I just want to talk to Reggie a little bit about kind of the ownership experience, right? I mean, I think we start from the beginning. Why the R34? Why? What's special about it to you?
As you know, millennials and Gen Z got a little bit of this as well. We didn't really grow up with, been able to experience the JDM scene, right? The essence of JDM. And millennials, we had our first entrance into it, unless you watch some of the best motoring or some of the magazines. And with Gran Turismo, PlayStation 1, right? And that was really what got people on, truly on the JDM line, right? Understanding what Japan was doing, you know, the Skylines, the Evos, like people really didn't understand that too well until Gran Turismo. So,
and then there's Initial D as well.
Yeah, like Initial D and things like that, right? There was something that everybody had their own way of being introduced to it, right? So for me, it was Gran Turismo and then Best Motoring. So being able to experience those cars and always feel like we were missing the opportunity to really enjoy Japanese excellence in engineering. I always wanted every car on there, right? From the NSX Type R, the Civic Type R, all of them, right? So that's when I really first wanted the Skyline. And then of course we had the other things, Initial D, the Fast and Furious, right? All those things. So my love for JDM started, you know, when I was younger. And I always appreciated the level, you know, as an engineer myself, the level of engineering that they really put into it and how they were always ahead of the time.
And that's the real fascinating part as well. Is like, you know, I think about the connection here, but this is, at a high level, it's a sports car. It's not like a supercar, right? But it had so much technology in there. It was like almost I mean, the all-wheel drive, right? The four-wheel steering. Which was back in '89 was four-wheel steering. Exactly.
They were way ahead of their time.
Exactly. Right? And then even the screen, we keep forgetting what it's
called. The multi-function display. NFD, I think is what it is, right?
Right. I just wanted to reiterate the point you kind of made about how they were just so ahead of their time with this, and so much technology in a car that isn't necessarily a supercar, right? It's like a sports car, dare I say that, right? Supercar killer, but yeah.
No, it's interesting you say that because, well, most people don't know. Most people just know the Skyline GTR. The Skyline GTR is based off a normal Skyline. It is a normal car, you know, in its base form. Then it goes up to the GTT and the GTR. So in some ways it has a 911 essence to it, right? Except 911 doesn't start as a normal car, it starts as 911. But the difference in a normal Skyline and a Skyline GTR is light years, right? So they were able to transform something, which is for the most part very basic, into a 911 turbo competitor, right? That's always been the benchmark for the GTR, is a 911 turbo. And it's just spectacular what they were able to do back then with the 32 and then with the 34.
Yeah.
And even to this day, people are amazed at how advanced it really is. Right?
Yep. And I guess kind of my next question, you've experienced the R32, right? You've owned that as well. And now you own this. This is arguably, not necessarily arguably, it just is the more popular one, right? The more recognizable, it's got the pop culture behind it. What's kind of your differentiation between the two cars? Because they did level up in each generation, right? So yeah.
You know, historically, I would not have said this until I drove R32 and learned the history. When I think R32, I think of racing. What made it popular, Godzilla, was R32. It just dominated racing. Nobody was even close. So from a standpoint of a pure track-ish car, or car that can be converted to a true track spec vehicle, the R32 really developed that component of the Skyline GTR series. It was the one that dominated. It was the one that was known to be highly tunable, the all-wheel drive, the Altezza four-wheel drive system, or the Heika's four-wheel drive system, four-wheel steering system. So when I think about that, I think about its racing heritage. I like the design, but it was not my favorite. When I think about the 34, I compare it to really the 993. Although it's a newer car than a 993, it's like in between a 993 Porsche and the 997. To me, the R34 encapsulates everything that made the Skyline great. It has the performance, and it has the ability to be turned into an amazing track vehicle. The design is timeless. It never gets old. It never gets old. As a matter of fact, I think it gets better over the years, especially with some slight mods. You know, it has a few updates to the engine, obviously the MSD display, MFD. So it just has those. It's the great middle ground between heritage Nissan and modern technology.
I love it. A great answer as well. I love it. I guess kind of next thing, you know, you've experienced a little bit of the culture over there in Japan. I mentioned earlier in the video, you met Smokey. This is one of the cars that is really signed off as one of his best GTRs, being that it's in this triple layer gold color that you mentioned, right? And you've met the Godfather of the GTR. How does that sort of encapsulate the full story of ownership, and how does that just add to the emotional? Like, did that do anything for you? Did you learn something new from those experiences?
Yeah, so because Smokey, if you meet him and go to a shop, you notice he works more like an artist than he does a typical automotive builder, right? Some people just build cars and sell cars. Smokey truly looks at it as an artistry. That's why he's like a creative genius when it comes to this stuff. That's why he was able to create, like, drop a V12 in the Supra and put, you know, 2 ECUs on it.
Which he's in right there.
Like that's where he really comes alive. It's just like this, you can't teach it. It's just how he thinks, right? So the experience really starts with understanding who Smokey is and understanding how he deploys his genius across his builds, right? So meeting him was, I mean, that's a dream in itself. I truly think Smokey will go down as the most iconic Japanese automotive voice, or I guess legend there is, right? Because he's just so notable around the world. He was a rebel, right? You know, he was arrested, he got banned, and now he's just like cool guy. He's always smoking. You know, now he has a vape. He's vaping now. And you know, he builds these crazy cars that are like super recognizable. So when that aura is built up around somebody, you can't help but feel it. And then the ability to, you know, have one of their vehicles, and this one specifically, it feels like it's a part of Smokey's DNA. When you think about Smokey Nagata and you watch his videos and you drive this, it feels like it came from Smokey's mind. And that's something that many people can't pull off, right?
You own a pretty special R34 GTR, right? Or top secret R34 GTR. What's the experience been in terms of, you know, people reaching out to you, or just like the people seeing the car, right? When you drive or you take it out sometimes, are people shocked? Or when you take it to those shows, you know, what's that whole experience like?
So the cool thing is that this car in particular, mainly because of the color and it's the Skyline, you have two different worlds. You have the world of people who have no idea what it is, but are completely amazed, right? They're like, I don't know what it is, but I can't stop staring at it. It's gold, and it looks cool, and it has a black hood, and it's loud. And then you have the people who are car people. And they're like, if they know, they're like, well, three people. You have the car people who like cars. They're like, that's a cool Skyline. Then you have the people who like, oh crap. That is a top secret. Like I know that gold is only done by Smokey, right? So no matter who I run into, it's an experience. They're either saying, oh man, like I saw this on a magazine, on a movie, or they're saying, dude, you got a R34, or it's like, bro, is that top secret? Like no matter where I go, it's an experience, and it's a unique perspective from different, people who are enthusiasts of cars.
I love it. I love it. And I guess kind of my final question, being that we're really trying to uncover the SuperCar secrets here, being in Houston, what are a couple of things that you could kind of tell me that somebody would not know, even a car enthusiast that wouldn't really necessarily know about, I guess, just overall your experience with the R34, meeting Smokey, having the car here in Houston, just any sort of secret tidbit that you could kind of...
So definitely, so two things. One, meeting Smokey, because I was able to, so you are not allowed into top secret shop. It's always locked. You can go into the front office, but you have to know Smokey or know somebody that works there or have a good reason for him to allow you into the shop. He's very private. He doesn't want anybody in there, which is really top secret, right? It's really cool. And so, but when you breach that, right, and you're able to meet him personally, you truly get a chance to learn how he thinks and understand what makes him go. And I think that's a unique thing that you can only experience if you're able to connect with Smokey, right? Because on the outside, he looks like a guy that builds cars, but he's much more than that, right? He's in his own world. On the car itself, the mirrors, as I may have mentioned, on the original, so I mentioned earlier, this car was a road version essentially of the original Fusion RR. And I wanted to see what carbon mirrors were available. So Smokey had an old race car, I'm not sure which car he came off of, but he said, hey, I have these mirrors off of my old race car. Do you want them? I'm like, hell yeah, I want them. Like, why would I not want them? So yeah, I can genuinely say like a piece of one of Smokey's cars is on this car, right? So I think that's a really cool aspect of the vehicle. Nobody else has that. Nobody can say that has it. So yeah, that's just one of the many cool things, but that's probably my favorite because it's intimate, right? So yeah, those are the two things I would say is very unique.
Hell yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, Reggie, I really appreciate it, man. That was awesome. And guys, video's not over. We're about to go for a quick drive, and we'll see about everything that we love about this car. So let's go. All right, so now it's time for the quick drive in the R34. Crazy, because I've never been to Skyline. Reggie was kind of saying, not all Skylines do this, do the things that the R34 do. The seats are actually surprisingly soft and comfortable.
Yeah, they are. So these are, I didn't talk about that, but these are actually special edition Recaro seats. So these are not standard R34 seats. See how easy it is? Like, it takes nothing and you're just...
Well, so what is it? Is it very grabby at a certain point?
Super grabby, yeah. It's a very small threshold over the clutch grabs. And it's much easier when you're in there because you're not, I didn't realize this, but when you get out in traffic, your body wants to behave differently. Like you want to have an immediacy. Where in the museum, I don't have it. I'm chilling. Out there, you're trying to get off and you're like, so you're trying to like get it right quickly, right? So I end up like messing up, and I'm like, and I rarely stall cars. I'm like, God damn, this thing's a man.
I believe you. I believe you. So I was watching a little bit of some reviews, and some of the things that some of the guys were talking about overall is just how direct the steering feels, and like I mean it's a thing of older generation cars, right? So I think there's a commonality there, but this is really referencing the point that even when you turn, you still kind of know exactly where the front axle's pointed, right? Like as soon as it goes off center, you still have that feel. You know exactly what's going on with the tires. I mean, and that's what I loved about the McLaren. I mean, it's a completely different comparison, but the
for a new car, it's so connected.
Exactly. I was like, that's why I was so immersive. I was like, holy crap, I've never felt anything like this.
I think McLaren, I would even say better than Porsche in a modern day. They feel more like older cars. And they're so analog, man. At least especially the 675 LT. I can already feel though that there's power. It's it's there, man. It's a really stiff chassis. It's a suspension. I probably need to go and soften it up. But this thing wants to be on the track.
Oh man. Oh, that sound is so cool, man.
It's a Smokey did a really cool. Like my pal from Top Ring Importers in California. Like all they do is like most of their stuff is Skylines. He's driven. I had a mines. He's been in the mines and all that. I took him in this. He was like, oh. See, he said, this is different. This is not like the other. I said, this is different.
Even in the passenger seat, it feels, even though I'm not even driving the car, I still can feel how it feels direct. Like, I don't know, there's something about it, like I can feel kind of what's happening. I think it's to do with the vibration and the suspension.
You can just feel the road in every aspect. Through the seats, through your butt.
Exactly.
You know, when you're like, even like the vibrations through it, you can like feel the imperfections. And that's like, you know, a normal car driver, like, oh my God, what's that? Us enthusiasts, we're like, hell yeah.
Exactly. You want, because it tells you where the limit is. Like you get a clear understanding. Holy shit. That's unbelievable. I can just imagine how, again, this is another one of those cars that does feel immersive.
It's super immersive. It's so immersive.
Oh my gosh.
Man. On a track, this would be insane. And this is just on the A map.
That flutter. Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh my God!
It's a whole different feeling, dude.
That's unbelievable.
We'll take a loop here.
Crap.
It almost has an NA way of pulling.
I was about to say that.
Like the turbo lag isn't intrusive on here at all.
And it's still, it still builds pretty linearly.
It does.
But it continues to build, if that makes sense. Holy. Jeez.
You can tell, like,
oh my God.
I can keep in the boost if I really hit the revs, but you just don't. It's not necessary. You know, oh, I probably went too far. Okay, damn it.
And that was, so what map is that? That's only.
This is A map. So this is one of the low boost settings.
Okay. And the car feels really light as well. It kind of feels go-karty.
Exactly. For a modern car, it's actually really light. This car weighs probably about as much as what an E46 M3 weighed. Right? For modern standards, just light for all the power, you know?
So this is the funny thing. If you don't know enough about the JDM space, you see this car and you'd be like, okay, it's like a tuner's car, right? It's like, it's not high quality, it's not high level, but from a car enthusiast perspective, it drives so high level. It drives so connected. It drives, right? It's fascinating.
Oh, it does, man. That's years of like experience that Smokey. You know, he's been able to conform tuner cars to road spec track vehicles, right? So that's the higher setting.
Jeez.
And that's, I would even full RPMs, right?
Yeah.
So this makes full power right around, I think, 7.5.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the DMAP. But yeah, Smokey has mastered the ability to do that, man.
I mean, this is a supercar killer.
It is, dude. It is, man. And even like, again, he goes to the track, so like, even the handling is really, really nice, you know? We don't have good corners, but you can feel the chassis and the tuning he has in the suspension.
Yeah. Jeez.
There's a reason R32 dominated people. That all-wheel drive system was insane, and they just evolved it to the R34. I mean, I think this is one of the greats in terms of an all-wheel drive system.
Yeah.
Because it's still a rear-wheel drive biased, but you get incredible grip through all corners. Of course, it's a little understeer, you know, depending on how it's tuned, but you know, you're talking about 90s technology, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy. And it feels better than what we have today. That's special. It's special.
I mean, I probably would chill for the cops.
Yeah, exactly. Are you ever thinking of taking it to the track?
Hell no.
I mean, no?
I'm not willing to risk it.
Okay. Fascinating. Yeah, I gained so much more appreciation for these types of vehicles. And this thing is, I'm not joking when I say it's a supercar killer. Like it's more than a supercar killer, right?
It's quick.
We just came over here in an AMG GTC that has 550 horsepower, German muscle car. I mean, known for being a green hell killer, right, on the Nürburgring.
Yep.
This is a whole different level, multiplied by 2, if not 3. It's unbelievable. So. Awesome, thanks to Reggie.
Thanks. I wish we were on the track, man. We could have really put it out. I had to chill, but you know, got a chance to experience some of the revs and the boosts. Yeah, dude, this car wants to live on the track. Yeah. It really does.
Yeah, absolutely, killer. Well, thank you, Reggie.
Thank you, dude. Hell yeah.
We got to do this in a couple other.
We got
times
to.
as well.
Yeah.